A lot of you have been asking, where in the world is my hardtail? Do I still ride it? Do I still like hardtails? What is going on? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, Josh here again with Daily Mountain Bike Rider, and today we're going to talk all about my hardtail, my 2018 Diamondback Syncr. If you guys have followed the channel for a while, then you know I picked this bike up just about 7 months ago, and it actually replaced a hardtail that I had, which was a 2017 Rally Tokel 3. If you don't know, I absolutely love hardtails. I'm the type of person, I'll probably only have 2 bikes. The first will be a tried and true do-it-all full suspension bike, and the second, you guessed it, will be a hardtail. As much as I love full suspension bikes, there's something about a hardtail that makes me feel like I can sharpen my skills because I have to take better lines, feels more responsive and just connected to my trails. And really, for a lot of the trails I ride, I don't need a bigger bike, and a hardtail isn't just preferred, but for me, it's almost more fun. So today, I wanted to update you guys on my 2018 Diamondback Syncr, show you all the stuff that I've changed on it since I got it 7 months ago, and give you a long-term review on it. But first, let me tell you, yes, I still ride this bike. I ride it all the time. I try to ride my bike every day, but I go on trail rides 2 or 3 times a week, and the Syncr is almost always out once a week. So let's talk about what specs are on this bike. Starting from the ground up, the tires are Maxxis Minions. In the rear, I have a DHR2, and this is a 27.5 by 2.4. In the front, I have a DHF, and this is a 27.5 by 2.6. These are put on Diamondback Blanchard wheels. These wheels are different than what the bike came with, only because these ones are a boost because I upgraded the fork and needed a boost front wheel. Looking at the drivetrain, this is completely stock with how I got it. It's a 1x11 NX drivetrain connected to a race face effect crank. This crank and drivetrain has worked perfectly ever since I got it. Looking at the frame, this is a size medium. It comes spec'd with 130 millimeters of travel, but I do have 140 millimeters on it, and it is aluminum. The fork is a Fox 34 Performance with some customized stickers on the front that I picked up from Stickered. This thing just has the standard grip damper, and like I said, is 140 millimeters of travel. Moving up from there, the dropper seat post is a P&W Bachelor. It's 170 millimeters of drop. I have very long legs, and it fits perfectly on this bike. Up at the bars, I also have P&W components on both the stem and the bars, which are 780 millimeters wide. The grips are Ergon GA2s, and the brakes on here are the Shimano SLXs. This is an upgrade from the original brakes, and not only that, but the rotors are upgraded. I have a 160 millimeter rotor on the rear and then a 180 up front. A couple other things on the bike that you might not notice is I do have a Cushcore insert on the rear. I have a bash guard underneath the front chainring so I don't scratch that on anything. A custom Daily Mountain Bike Rider sticker on my front mud fender, and a custom Daily Mountain Bike Rider top cap. So that's the full specs of what's on my Syncr right now. But how's the bike performed over the last 7 months, and will it stay in my garage for a long time? Well, first let's talk about the benefits of the Syncr. First up is the quality of the bike you get for the price. Yes, I've upgraded a ton of parts, but honestly, all of them are just preferences versus needs. The one thing I really needed to upgrade that I did right away was put on a beefier fork, mainly because I was going to be taking this thing off very big jumps and very steep, difficult technical descents. Besides that though, the build for the price came in very, very well, and a lot of the stock parts like the drivetrain and the brakes even stayed on my bike for a long time before I felt like I should upgrade them. Second thing is that this bike is extremely durable. I've put the Syncr through a lot of torture testing, taking it off a lot of big features, and it's held up great. And third, I feel like this bike sizing is super good. This is a medium, and for a lot of people, they say that this bike feels a little small for a medium. I'm 5'9", and the bike really feels like it's flickable. It's very easy to pedal. It pedals really great, and it's a bike that I feel like I can ride all day, and I'm not gonna get too tired on from pedaling. But along with that, there are some cons about the Syncr. The first up, and I said it when I first got the bike, was the fact that they didn't have boost spacing on the front fork. I think that's a big loss because if you're like me and gonna upgrade the bike slowly but surely, when you get a new fork, you would have to get wheels as well. The second thing is the head tube angle is not very steep. I think it comes at 68 degrees. With my little bit more travel, it's probably 67.5. And I feel like hardtails need to have a little bit slacker geometry to create stability, whereas this one doesn't have that as much when you're going really fast. And the last thing I really don't like about this bike, and this is a total preference thing, is the standard 27.5 wheel size and the fact you can't put more than a 2.4 inch wheel in the back. I came from a 27.5 plus hardtail and I loved it. I loved that it dented the trail. I felt like my Tokel was everything I needed. But I wanted to experiment and I purposefully bought the Syncr with 27.5 wheels, and everything that I thought about them came true. I wish I had a little bit more cushion. I wish I had a little bit more rollability and just pedaling in cross-country trails. And while I didn't really have a huge complaint about them, I knew there was something better out there. So after looking back on all the positives and all the negatives of the Syncr, the big question in my mind is, what does this mean for me and my future of my hardtail? And as much as I hate that I'm somebody who always has new bikes, I think 2019 will mark a time for me to move on from the Syncr and get a different hardtail. And with that in mind, my hope would be to get a hardtail that's very different from the Syncr so that I can try out what I think would be an ideal build. For me, that means going back to 27.5 plus wheels or 29. I think having a slacker head tube angle in order to create more stability on the steep, fast trails. And I think one thing that I would really love is a steel or chromoly bike, because I hear those frame types are super good for reducing vibrations and some of the harshness that comes with riding a hardtail. But until then, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop riding the Syncr. I'm still gonna be riding this thing all the time until I get my new bike, because really it's been awesome and I can't wait for it to go to somebody else who's gonna love it as much as I do. All right, I think that about wraps up all my thoughts on the Syncr. But at the end of the day, don't spend too much time watching me talk about my hardtails in my garage, but get out there and ride your bike and make sure you do it every day.